Today, we're counting down the top 10 greatest racehorses of the 21st century. We're kicking off our list with a horse that embodied the American dream, California Chrome. This isn't just about statistics, though his numbers speak for themselves. This is about a $10,500 horse who became racing royalty. Born in 2011 and bred on a shoestring budget by two friends with a dream, California Chrome proved that heart and determination can overcome pedigree snobbery. His humble origins make his story even more remarkable. He wasn't supposed to be here, but boy did he prove everyone wrong. In 2014, Chrome stormed through the Kentucky Derby and Preakness Stakes with authoritative victories, giving America hope for its first Triple Crown winner in 36 years. Though Belmont Stakes glory eluded him, he finished in a dead heat for fourth. This setback only marked the beginning of his true greatness. What happened next was extraordinary. While many Triple Crown contenders fade into comfortable retirement after near misses, California Chrome came back stronger, hungrier, and more dominant. He matured into an absolute force on the international stage, capturing the 2016 Dubai World Cup, one of the richest races on the planet, with a commanding performance that announced his arrival as a global superstar. He won the Pacific Classic, the Awesome Again Stakes, and was named American Horse of the Year in 2014 and 2016. His career earnings exceeded $14.7 million, but Chrome's legacy goes beyond dollars. He proved that class isn't about bloodlines, it's about heart. His fan base was enormous, his personality infectious, and his willingness to battle was legendary. Chrome retired in 2017 and now lives his best life at stud, passing on those warrior genes to the next generation. A horse who started with nothing and gave us everything. That's California Chrome. Number 9. Curlin. Let's talk about consistency, versatility, and pure class. Let's talk about Curlin. Foaled in 2004, Curlin didn't even race as a 2-year-old, which in the racing world is almost unheard of for a future champion. But when he did hit the track in 2007, he made up for lost time in spectacular fashion. Curlin's 3-year-old season was a masterclass in racing excellence. He won the Preakness Stakes in thrilling fashion, coming from behind to collar Street Sense, the Kentucky Derby winner, in a stretch duel that had the crowd on its feet. He then captured the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Breeders' Cup Classic, earning Horse of the Year honors. But here's what separates the good from the great. Curlin came back at 4 and did it all over again. His 2008 campaign was even more impressive. He won the Dubai World Cup, demolishing an international field by nearly 8 lengths in one of the most dominant performances in that race's history. He followed up with victories in the Stephen Foster Handicap and the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and capped it all with another Breeders' Cup Classic victory. 2-time Horse of the Year, 2-time Breeders' Cup Classic winner, and the first North American horse to earn over $10 million in career earnings, finishing with $10,501,800. These weren't just wins, they were statements. Curlin raced against the best competition of his era and consistently proved he was better. He excelled at different distances, on different surfaces, and under different conditions. His versatility was matched only by his competitive fire. As a stallion, Curlin has been equally impressive, siring champions and proving that greatness can indeed be passed down. He was a complete racehorse, and that's why he earns his place at number 9. Number 8. See the Stars. Now we cross the Atlantic to discuss a horse who many European racing fans will argue should be much higher on this list. See the Stars, a name as poetic as his racing style. Foaled in 2006 in Ireland, See the Stars put together one of the most remarkable single-season campaigns in racing history. His 2009 three-year-old season was absolutely flawless. 6 starts, 6 wins, including victories in the 2000 Guineas, the Epsom Derby, and the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Let that sink in for a moment. He won the British Triple Crown equivalent and the Arc in the same year. This is like winning the Super Bowl and the World Series in the same season. It just doesn't happen. The different distances, the different conditions, the accumulation of tough races, most horses crack under that pressure, not see the stars. His Epsom Derby victory was a thing of beauty. He glided past the competition with a grace that made it look effortless. In the Arc, considered by many to be Europe's most prestigious race, he produced a devastating turn of foot that left world-class competition in his wake. What made See the Stars special wasn't just that he won, it was how he won. There was an elegance to his racing, a seemingly effortless superiority that made you believe you were watching something truly special. His jockey, the legendary Mick Kinane, said riding him was like riding a Ferrari. He retired undefeated in his final 8 starts and was rated the highest-rated European-trained racehorse of the decade. His brief but brilliant career earned him over £4 million, but his impact on the sport was priceless. See the Stars proved that perfection, even if fleeting, is achievable, and that's why he gallops into our number 8 spot.
Here's where things get emotional, folks, because at number 7, we have the horse who ended 37 years of heartbreak, who made grown men cry, who united a sport and captured a nation. We have American Pharoah. On June 6, 2015, at Belmont Park, American Pharoah did what 12 horses before him had tried and failed to do since affirmed in 1978. He won the Triple Crown. But the story of American Pharoah is so much more than that singular achievement. Trained by the masterful Bob Baffert, American Pharoah announced himself with a dominant Kentucky Derby victory, where he stalked the pace before exploding down the stretch. The Preakness was more of the same, cool, confident, professional. But it was the Belmont where magic happened. The weight of history bore down as he entered the starting gate. Could he do it? Would he be another in a long line of heartbreakers? The answer came thundering down the Belmont stretch as jockey Victor Espinoza let him roll, and American Pharoah powered away from the field, winning by 5.5 lengths in one of the most cathartic moments in American sports history. The crowd erupted, tears flowed freely. After nearly 4 decades, the Triple Crown drought was over. But American Pharoah wasn't finished. He came back later that year to win the Haskell Invitational, and then, in his final career start, he won the Breeders' Cup Classic, becoming the first horse to complete the Grand Slam of American racing, the Triple Crown plus the Classic. He earned Horse of the Year honors, retired with 8 wins from 11 starts, and earned over $8.6 million. More importantly, he brought mainstream attention back to horse racing in a way few horses ever have. American Pharoah was more than a racehorse. He was a cultural moment, a unifying force, and the horse who reminded us why we love this sport. That's legacy defined.
Number 6. Black Caviar. From the United States to Australia, where we encounter one of the most remarkable winning streaks in racing history. Ladies and gentlemen, Black Caviar. Undefeated. Let me say that again. Undefeated. 25 starts, 25 wins, and 0 defeats. In a sport where any horse can lose on any given day, Black Caviar simply didn't lose. Ever. Foaled in 2006, this Australian mare became a national treasure down under. She wasn't just winning, she was obliterating fields with a combination of blistering speed and indomitable will. Her specialty was sprint racing, and over distances from 1,000 to 1,400 meters, she was untouchable. Black Caviar won 15 Group 1 races, the highest classification in thoroughbred racing, including 4 straight wins in the Lightning Stakes and the T.J. Smith Stakes. But her most famous victory came at Royal Ascot in England in 2012, where she ventured overseas to race in the Diamond Jubilee Stakes. The pressure was immense. Australia held its breath. Would the unbeaten streak continue on foreign soil? In a heart-stopping finish, Black Caviar was challenged like never before, but with the heart of a champion, he fought back to win by a head. The relief and celebration were palpable. What made Black Caviar special wasn't just the wins, it was her presence. She had a personality that shone through, a confidence that was almost human. Fans loved her. She became a celebrity beyond racing, appearing on television shows and inspiring books. She earned over 7.9 million Australian dollars and was named Australian Horse of the Year on 3 occasions. When she retired in 2013, she did so as the only undefeated horse on our list and one of the greatest sprint specialists the world has ever seen. Perfection is rare. Black Caviar achieved it. Number 5. Arrogate. This might be our most controversial placement, but hear me out. At number 5, we have Arrogate, a horse whose peak was so astronomical, so utterly dominant that his brief time at the top earned him this spot. Foaled in 2013 and trained by Bob Baffert, Arrogate came from obscurity to become, for a shining moment, the highest-earning North American racehorse in history. His story is about nuclear-level talent meeting perfect timing. Arrogate didn't even race until June of his 3-year-old season. He won his maiden race, won an allowance race, and then he just started destroying the best horses in the world. In August 2016, he won the Travers Stakes, the Midsummer Derby, by a stunning 13.5 lengths, setting a track record. But that was just the appetizer. In November, he entered the Breeders' Cup Classic as a relative unknown, faced the undefeated California Chrome, who we discussed earlier, and ran him down in the stretch to win in a performance that left racing experts speechless. Then came 2017. Arrogate traveled to Dubai and won the Dubai World Cup by a ridiculous 2.25 lengths, picking up $6 million in prize money for a single race. He returned to win the San Diego Handicap before attempting to defend his Breeders' Cup Classic crown, where he finished second to Gun Runner. In just 7 starts over 16 months, Arrogate earned $17,422,600, becoming the highest-earning racehorse in North American history at the time. His peak performances were as dominant as any horse on this list. Yes, his career was short. Yes, he had some off days, but when Arrogate was at his best, he was simply unstoppable. His Breeders' Cup Classic upset of California Chrome and his Dubai World Cup demolition job were performances for the ages. Sadly, Arrogate died young in 2020 due to an illness, cutting short what could have been a brilliant stallion career. But his racing legacy, those magnificent moments of superiority, secure his place among the elite. 4 years, that's not dominance, that's dynasty. Winx won 25 Group 1 races, including an unprecedented 4 consecutive Cox Plate victories, often called the Weight for Age Championship of Australasia. The Cox Plate is contested over 2040 meters at Moonee Valley, and Winx made it look like a morning workout every single year. What set Winx apart was her versatility and longevity. She won from 1,400 to 2,200 meters. She won on different tracks, in different conditions, against different competition, and she kept doing it, year after year, with a consistency that defied belief. Her racing style was thrilling. She typically raced toward the back of the field, and then, with her trademark, devastating turn of foot, she would unleash a finishing burst that was simply unstoppable. Her jockey, Hugh Bowman, timed these runs to perfection, and together they became one of the most iconic partnerships in racing history. The Australian public didn't just admire Winx, they adored her. She became a cultural icon, with crowds of up to 40,000 people showing up just to watch her gallops. She appeared on magazine covers, in commercials, and even had songs written about her. Winx earned over 26 million Australian dollars in prize money and was named the Longines World's Best Racehorse on 2 occasions. She retired with a record of 43 starts, 37 wins, and 4 places. No defeats in 4 years. Number 3, Justify. Controversy time. We have a horse who raced for only 112 days, won the Triple Crown, and retired undefeated. We have Justify. Now, I can already hear some of you typing angry comments. How can a horse with such a short career be number 3? Fair question, let me explain. Foaled in 2015 and trained by Bob Baffert, Justify accomplished something that hadn't been done in 136 years. He won the Kentucky Derby without racing as a 2-year-old. That curse, dating back to Apollo in 1882, seemed unbreakable. Justify shattered it. His career spanned just 6 races over 112 days in 2018, and he won them all. But these weren't ordinary wins. His Kentucky Derby victory came in a muddy, sloppy mess where he proved his versatility. The Preakness saw him battle through traffic and adverse conditions. And the Belmont? Oh, the Belmont. He won by 1.75 lengths to become the 13th Triple Crown winner. But it wasn't just the Triple Crown. Justify's entire campaign was conducted under immense pressure. Every race was must-win. Every start carried enormous expectations, and every single time he delivered. His Belmont Stakes victory made him the 2nd undefeated Triple Crown winner in history. He was named the American Horse of the Year despite racing for less than 4 months. His 3-race Triple Crown sweep alone earned him over $3.5 million, and his total earnings reached $3,798,000. What if Justify had raced longer? What if he'd been able to pursue the Breeders' Cup Classic, international races, and a full 4-year-old campaign? We'll never know. He was retired due to injury concerns, leaving us with tantalizing what-ifs. But here's the thing. Justify's peak was so high, his accomplishments so significant, and his perfection so complete that 112 days was enough. He beat the best competition America had to offer, won the 3 toughest races in the sport consecutively, and never tasted defeat. Some legacies are built over years. Justify built his in a few months. And what a legacy it is. Number 2, Zenyatta. Our runner-up is a mare who transcended horse racing and became a cultural phenomenon. A horse whose story is so remarkable, so filled with drama and emotion that it reads like a Hollywood script. Ladies and gentlemen, Zenyatta. Foaled in 2004, Zenyatta was everything a horse race shouldn't be. She was huge, over 17 hands. She raced with her tongue out. She did a pre-race dance that became legendary. She started from the back of the pack in almost every race, and she won. 19 starts, 19 wins, against males and against females, in stakes races, in championship races. Zenyatta was virtually unbeatable for years, capturing the hearts of racing fans and casual observers alike. Her style was heart-stopping. She would settle dead last, sometimes 20 or more lengths behind the leaders, while her jockey, Mike Smith, sat cool as ice. Then, in the stretch, she would begin to roll and roll. The crowd would rise, the announcer's voice would crescendo, and Zenyatta would blow past horses like they were standing still. She won the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2009, the first mare ever to do so, beating the boys in the sport's most prestigious race. She was named American Horse of the Year twice.
She won 14 Grade 1 races. And she did it all with a personality that made her as famous as any athlete in America. But every legend needs a defining moment, and Zenyatta's came in her final race, the 2010 Breeders' Cup Classic. She was attempting to become the first horse to win the race twice, to retire undefeated, to cement her legacy as the greatest mare of all time. And she almost did it. In a race that will be debated forever, Zenyatta made her signature late run, closed ferociously on the leader, Blame, and lost by a head. One stride short, one agonizing, heartbreaking stride. The crowd was stunned. Tears flowed. The impossible had happened. Zenyatta had been beaten. But in defeat, her legend only grew. She retired with a record of 19-1-0 from 20 starts, earnings of $7,304,580, and a place in the hearts of millions who will never forget her. Zenyatta wasn't just a racehorse. She was an experience, a phenomenon, and proof that sometimes the journey matters more than the destination. Almost perfect is still pretty damn magnificent.
And so we arrive at number 1, the horse who, in the opinion of many racing experts, is not just the greatest racehorse of the 21st century, but possibly the greatest of all time, Frankel. Foaled in 2008 in England, Frankel was perfection incarnated. 14 starts, 14 wins, undefeated. But it's not just that he won, it's how he won and who he beat and the sheer level of superiority he displayed. Trained by the legendary Sir Henry Cecil, Frankel was named after the trainer's friend Bobby Frankel, an American Hall of Fame trainer. From his first race as a 2-year-old, it was clear this was no ordinary horse. He possessed breathtaking speed, matched with stamina, intelligence, and that indefinable quality that separates the great from the greatest. His 3-year-old season in 2011 was a masterclass. He won the 2,000 Guineas, one of Britain's 5 classics, by 6 lengths. He then rattled off victories in the St. James Palace Stakes, the Sussex Stakes, and the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, each performance more dominant than the last. But it was his 4-year-old season in 2012 that cemented his legendary status. He won the Locking Stakes, the Queen Anne Stakes, the Sussex Stakes again, and the International Stakes. Then came his final race, the Champion Stakes at Ascot. The pressure was enormous. Could he retire unbeaten? Against a strong international field, Frankel simply demolished them, winning by 1.75 lengths in a performance rated by many as the greatest in modern racing history. His time form rating of 147 is the highest ever recorded, surpassing even the mighty Seabird. What made Frankel so special? It was the combination of raw athletic ability and tactical brilliance. He could race on the pace or come from behind. He excelled from a mile to a mile and a quarter. He never looked troubled, never looked vulnerable, never looked like anything other than what he was, the best. His jockey, Tom Quayle, once said that riding Frankel was like driving a Formula One car. You didn't so much ride him as try to keep up with what he wanted to do. And what he wanted to do was win, dominantly, every single time. Frankel earned over £3 million in prize money, but his value as a stallion has been estimated at over £100 million. His offspring are now racing, carrying on the legacy of excellence. Racing experts, using sophisticated mathematical models, have consistently rated Frankel as the greatest racehorse in history. His perfect record, the quality of competition, the manner of his victories, and his consistent brilliance across 2 seasons make him, in our estimation and that of many others, the greatest racehorse of the 21st century. He wasn't just unbeaten, He was untouchable. He wasn't just good, he was transcendent. Frankel was, and remains, the gold standard by which greatness is measured. Did I miss your favorite? Is your list completely different? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this journey through racing history, and subscribe for more content celebrating the sport of kings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.